Welcome back to First News Saturday. We are taking a behind-the-scenes look at America's roller coaster.
We're going to show you what an amusement park does to keep safety at #1 during a pandemic, in case you're looking to make a trip to Cedar Point this summer.
On the shores of Lake Erie, Cedar Point's peninsula is filled with roller coaster after roller coaster.
We're opening with a lot of different protocols and procedures that we haven't experienced in the past.
Guests will be greeted with a temperature screening. If you have a temperature of 100.4 and above, you'll be asked to go to a cooling tent. If it doesn't go down, you'll be asked to leave. Masks are also a requirement at the park.
We know it's different than a normal visit and a different experience for most people when they're out in public, but this is the guideline that's in place that we put in place for our associates and our guests to make sure that we're keeping everyone safe.
Now, you're probably going to get a little hot as you walk the midways and ride roller coasters here at Cedar Point. The mask, it might get a little warm, but don't worry. Cedar Point has several of these relax zones where you're allowed to come in, remove your facial covering while you relax and cool off for a little bit. Once you're ready to head back into the park, they just ask that you put your mask back on.
You can also remove your mask for water rides and while you're eating or drinking. That includes if you're walking around the park. Sanitation efforts are also being increased. Rides will be sanitized several times in an hour, which could add to wait times, but that might not be the case compared to other times at Cedar Point.
The park capacity is already limited so that we can maintain social distancing throughout the park. So that means there's less people in the park, which means there's probably less people in line. In the lines themselves, you'll see social distancing markers on the ground that keep people 6 feet apart every so often. On our ride vehicles, you'll see the same thing on roller coaster trains, on the seats. Every other seat will be closed off and things like that.
If you're thinking about taking a trip to Cedar Point, you will need to make your plans in advance.
That planning can start the morning of. You can wake up in the morning and decide, hey, I want to come today, but you got to go to the website, make sure you have a reservation. And that goes for pass holders as well as single-day ticket holders. And that's really a convenience for our guests. We're operating at a reduced capacity this year with the guidelines that have been provided, and we don't want people to drive all the way out to Cedar Point and we've hit capacity and not be able to enter the park that day.
The park is now open to all guests, and the website allows you to see how many spots are left. Throughout the park, you'll notice differences to ensure guest safety. But if you do choose to go for the park's 150th anniversary, it promises it'll still be the summer destination with 71 rides.
It's strange that we're in this world right now and that we all have to do things differently, but it's still the same Cedar Point. You know, Millennium Forest is still the same ride. Kitty Kingdom is still the same area you take your kids to ride the little rides. We're just going to have coverings on. We're going to have to stay 6 feet apart, and it's just going to be a little different, but it's still going to be that same Cedar Point experience that we love to provide every year that's safe and fun for the family.
And of course, we didn't get to ride anything, unfortunately. But we did talk to Jason and Tony, and they said, you know, they didn't have any issues with their masks flying all over the place or anything like that.
Yeah, it seems like if you're gonna try to open an amusement park amid everything going on, that's the way you're gonna have to do it, just with all the protocols in place. I will tell you though, as we got to experience what people are experiencing right now, the whole health screening at the beginning was extremely simple.
So simple. Had no issues. I really didn't even know what was happening,
Yeah.
to be honest. The one thing to note is take advantage of those relax zones if you are going out there. I knew by the time we saw it, it was time to take the mask off, drink some water, and kind of cool down.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing is it was, you know, the mask is there and you kind of forget about it, and then after 2 hours in the heat, it's like, well, I could use 5 minutes. But,
Exactly,
Which is
yeah.
good that they have that in place there. But Cedar Point, awesome place, a place we both enjoy.
Yep.
What an opportunity to get to go there and shoot a story. Had a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and we'll be sure to put this interview on Wayne.com later today, and of course we'll have information on how to get those reservations if you are making a trip.